Hi students, Mr. Z here today. And today we're going to learn what makes something alive. What are the characteristics of an organism? An organism is something that's alive. And in this picture here, we have several organisms in here. See if you can find them. There is a human, that's an organism. There is a plant, that's an organism. And there is a bacteria, which is just one single cell. It's still considered an organism. Now, the reason this bacteria is considered an organism, it meets the 7 characteristics of an organism. Meets the same characteristics that this human has and the plant has. So let's find out what those are today. Let's start from the top. Organisms, one characteristic is that they use energy. Humans use energy, and we use that energy to move, to run, to jump, to do things. And the energy that we put in our bodies is food. So that is the energy that we use. Plants get their energy from the sun. And bacteria also get their energy from things that they eat. Next thing that I see up here at the top is the characteristic of growing. Humans grow. You've grown a lot since you were little, and you will continue to grow as an adult. Plants grow from a seed all the way to a tall plant or even a tree. And bacteria also grow from small to large. That leads us now to reproducing. Another characteristics of everything that's alive that is an organism is it can reproduce. Humans reproduce. Plants reproduce. And you may be thinking right now, how can that be? I've never seen a plant reproducing. But you see it every day. Every time it produces a seed, every time it produces a fruit, you're seeing the signs of reproduction. And bacteria reproduce. And just a single day in your sink, 100 bacteria can turn into 1,000,000 bacteria. And they reproduce quite effectively. The next thing is they can respond to the environment. Humans can respond to the environment. If you step on something hot, you're going to move your foot away from it. Plants respond to the environment. If there's something hot or warm, they will grow away from it. And even bacteria will respond to heat. So if it responds to the environment, that's another characteristic of an organism. Another characteristic of an organism is producing waste. Humans produce waste, and plants produce waste. And you're probably saying, I have never seen plant waste. What is Mr. Z talking about? Well, it's called carbon dioxide, and scientists have another word for it, and they call it respiration. So as this plant respires carbon dioxide, and that is its waste. And bacteria, this little cute guy right here, also produces waste. And we've all seen a cut turn really ugly and get really big and full of pus, and that is the waste of bacteria. So all that stuff stays in your body. That's why very important not to let your cuts get bacteria, because they will produce waste as well. They are an organism. And the last thing that make an organism is there's always some pattern to how they are built. There's always some organization. They all are made of at least one cell. And I'm right over here. They're composed of at least one cell. Now humans, we're made of 3 trillion cells. We're considered to be multicellular. Plants are also made of many cells. They are also considered multicellular. But a bacteria is just made of a single cell, and they're considered to be unicellular. Uni comes from the word Latin word one, so unicellular. Now, in this organization, how organisms are built is cells make tissue. And I have a picture here of a cell to help you remember that cells, and if you follow this arrow, we're going to follow it all the way in this direction, and that's what we're talking about right now. Cells make tissue. And you're probably wondering, like, what is this? This is a box of tissue, and I thought it would be easy for you to remember that way. But really, what we're talking about is specialized cells. Many of them make some type of specialized tissue. So I'll give you an example. Uh, Skin cells, many of them produce skin tissue, and that would be what you're looking on your arms and your hands. Um, Heart cells, many of them produce heart tissue, or what we call cardiac tissue. If you were to look at a human heart, everybody have probably seen pictures of them. They're kind of like pinkish, and they have that slimy look on it. That would be all the tissue that you see on that's making the heart. So cells make tissue. So if we follow our arrow a little bit further, cells make tissue, and many cells make tissue, and many tissues make. And if you look over here, the next thing it says what? Many tissues make organs. And one of the most known organ in the human body is the heart. I put an O here inside the heart to help you remember that this is an organ, just simply made of many, many tissues. And the next level organization is organ systems. So let's start back from the top here. Cells make tissues, tissues make organs, and organs make up organ systems. So this is on organ systems. What I mean by organ system is the heart is an organ, and the veins in your body are an organ, but together they work together for a common cause. And because they're working together to a common cause, they are called a organ system. What do you think this common cause is that veins and heart work together to do for an organism? And that would be to provide your body with oxygen and to remove waste. That is the function. So it's a common function, and that's why we call it organ system. Now, there's many organ systems in the human body. There's the digestive system. There is the muscular system. There's the skeletal system. These are all systems consisting of many organs that work together to produce a common job, or what we call function. All right, so let's continue. Start again, back from the beginning. Cells make tissues. Many cells make tissues. Many tissues make organs. And many organs make, as we're talking about the veins now, make organ systems. And many organ systems finally make the organism. And it's finally pointing to the organism. So there we go. And again, here's all the words here that you need to write down. After this video, the next slide is simply going to be the same picture, and you will need to fill in the missing information. You can refer back to this video to find the missing information, and once you're done filling in that information, you're good to go. Except where do you think you're putting this information? You're actually drawing this on page 8 of your journal. Page 8 of your journal. So the title of your journal page, you can have the date, then your title is going to be 7 characteristics of an organism. You're going to draw this picture, and you're going to write down these words, and I would be ready for a quiz and the next time I see you. All right, this is Mr. Z saying over and out, and see you on the next lesson.